Hey guys, and welcome back to the last episode of our Great Tech New Horizon series in the old Excellent server. So, I've already completed my goal, so this will be the base tour episode. But yeah, this was my goal, the Stargate base. This actually took a long time to get. I had to cheat some of the resources, mostly the ones which were going to take a long time, just because I didn't really want to waste time waiting for resources that would take a long time. Most of them were the Universium, so I cheated some Universium. The grade 8 water as well from there. I think that was mostly it. Some other resources as well, but not as much as those two. At least I'm not really remembering as well. But yeah, let's start with the base store. I'll actually start through the spawn just to show you guys. This is our initial spawn with some signs. So we'll drop from here. And there was some players which played. Not going to go too in depth into the base players, but I'll just say that Mr. Nuger was that direction. Sai Resintex was in that direction, and Henry was in that direction. My base was in this direction. And also, just a quick fun fact about the spawn. This area here of the spawn was actually completely redone because there was a Tomcraft the node that destroys the blocks around here, so this area was completely destroyed. So yeah, I just marked the spot with this lantern here. Cool fun fact. But yeah, if I go straight through here, I'll end up at my base. So yeah, this is the village where I stayed at like the second night of the server. So yeah, I did all of this, went through this magical forest. There should be another hole somewhere here where I also stayed, probably this one here. So yeah, I continued forward. In this case, I actually went a little bit that way. Yeah, I crossed this. Actually, in the beginning of the game, I took some clay from here. And yeah, then I went through this orchard and yeah, into my base, which when at this point is a little bit weird because this was supposed to be the entrance. But yeah, as I needed more space to build some of the crazier multi-blocks, if you are like here, you can already see kind of my base and you are not even close to the entrance. So I would probably need to, well, at least move this. Right, but then you get into my base, I built some of the paths. And in this area, in this mountain, was actually my starting point. It's still somehow uh, in here, kind of. This, no, not this space, but yeah, the snowman should still be here somewhere, or at least it was before I added this. But yeah, it definitely was here for a long time, like this as well. The probably space for pipes, because I had my water tanks outside here, like around here, and my water tanks, well, there. Then I moved them to here, which, well, definitely they aren't here anymore. But I had the pipes, as you guys can see, this is still here from when I had the item pipes and the water pipes from here. Also, I had a tree farm around here as well. That's how we got our first wood for the steam boilers, which we had around here. Pretty cool stuff. But yeah, and I was in this little base, or which was this little base. Maybe I'll put up some image on screen. Yeah, I was here for around until early LV. Then I started on this base, which is quite different than what it was before. At least this outside part, it was made of cobblestone before. Now I switched it to Empcrete. It's a little bit bigger as well. I didn't really like how this turned out, but at this point I really just wanted a place to put machines, and I didn't really know how to build my base or how I wanted my base to look like. So I just decided to go underground and build this here. I have here the pillars, of course, for those who know the pillars. And yeah, then I started this base. I took inspiration, at least on this, from Threefold's base. I think it's pretty clear. It's not the same. I did some changes like the colors. I decided to color code each of the sides, which I think turned out pretty good. And yeah, and I, well, had most of my machines on this side of the base. Some still remain. Um, so yeah, going from, I guess, left to right, starting here. Right now we have here our farm uh, resources, but before the titanium production was here and here. This was mostly LV machines. This was HC machines, like there was a macerator here and an electrolyzer here. Vacuum freezer was here, blast furnace here. This was all MV machines, more MV machines. This was initially LV machines, but well, I guess LV machines were here as well. But now this is MV, this is HV. And then on this side we have, I guess, more LV machines on here. And I guess we had LV machines here as well, but now well, this got changed. Uh, this got changed again later, but I'll go through that in a minute. Yeah, we had more LV machines here and here. I'm pretty sure I had MV machines here before I moved them over there. And in here I had our fuel production. Well, I guess fuel production was here as well. Here I had silicon and something else. On this side I had, I think, nitrogen and iron trichloride, I think. In here I had PTFE, and on this side I had basically the tier 2 of oil distillation and the citane boosted diesel production, which is still kinda here to this day. Still have a little bit left. Yeah, moving on. I also, yeah, the citane boosted the LCR was here as well. Then on this side, actually we don't remember what we had here. Oh, it was the oil cracker for something. And on this side we had the distillation tower. That's why this has more space here. Here was our industrial TNT production. I don't really remember what was here. In here was the LCR for the polyvinyl chloride, I think. No, the silicon rubber was here actually, silicon rubber. And I'm pretty sure, yeah, this up to, let's see, up to here, I think, or up to here, was our bauxite line, which it is a little bit complicated to understand, but it's a nice line. It does offer us some nice resources, like rutile, and I mean, aluminum is good as well at this stage of the game. But yeah, on this side we didn't really have much. We now have the isostatic pressurization unit, which is a tier 2 compressor, which we don't really use anymore. We also have the greenhouse, which we also don't use anymore because this was heavily nerfed from what I remember. Um, I guess it still keeps up with 1,000 crops. Yeah, but this was nerfed. And for the SE2 crops, it's basically useless. So yeah, there's not really much point in using this multi-block right now. I mean, for some of the vanilla seeds, I guess it's fine, but yeah, not really much more than that. We also have our chemical plant here. This area, to slot 0 probably never used, as well as this one. And yeah, on this side, I mean, did I have something here? I actually don't remember. I might have had something here, but yeah, because I remember I had the centrifuge here for the samarium. When we first got samarium, it was here. Now it's of course coping machine. But yeah, also have our EEC, and on this side we just had some production for the blocks, since I needed a lot of blocks for the, let's say, first stage of the building revolution, which is basically when I came back, because as you guys might don't not remember, I took a break of some months from the pack, mostly because I didn't really know how to build the base, and I was not really enjoying much this style. It would have given me a lot of work to keep this style going, so I wanted to go for something simpler. So yeah, that's how these buildings here, like this one, and this one came to be. All of the other ones were basically inspired by this, and I'd say buildings such as this one and this one came out pretty well compared with what I usually do. So I'm happy with them. Not really happy with this or this. This one is fine, but I don't really like how it's kind of in the mountain. When I decided to build it like this, it was like a feature of it. But yeah, as the time went on, I didn't really like how it looked. So yeah, probably not doing that next time. But yeah, let's go back to here, because there's a few things that I still need to show you guys. And I think I didn't mention this, but this will be a long video. Don't if this ends up being like 2 or 3 hours long, I wouldn't really be surprised with it, because I'm going to take the things really slow, just to show you guys everything, the story of everything, and so on. So I expect this to be a really long video. So yeah, under here we have our ME terminals. Initially, when I got ME, they were like on this wall here. But then, as I decided to not use this room anymore, which honestly, yeah, I ended up using this later. But yeah, I moved them upstairs here. I was eventually going to move them to here, to these spots here, which were the initial spots where we had our first crafting stations from forestry. It was here where we crafted most of our stuff. I was going to move them to here, but I ended up not doing. So yeah, and basically down here we just have basically cells and storage buses. This is just what I use to craft some of this stuff, as you guys can see. Put them in this chest, and just in this chest we craft. There's still the Stargate base here, which I crafted less than an hour ago. But yeah, these cells are mostly for the plasmas that are required for the quark stuff, this stuff here. Um, yeah, which it's a bit weird to get, but yeah. And the same here. Not this side though. This side has some other random stuff, but yeah. Some level emitters here as well, mostly for the miners. I had this disabled because we were struggling to get some items to craft because of the long calculation times. Sometimes Amy doesn't really work well when the items are constantly being inserted in exiting the system. So yeah, yeah, terminals, then more drives. We had a couple of the digitals in our mainnet, but yeah, more fluids. I actually have a void one, which is for the diluteds. Initially, I had the diluteds being processed, but then I just, yeah, it was taking too long, so I just decided to void them. But yeah, most of the stuff for the fluids, and actually I have also some Tomcraft ones, which I'll show the Tomcraft in a bit. But yeah, more cells. This is all cells, and down here, I guess I'll try to not forget to show you guys the underground stuff, because that's something for at least for me, I'm kind of curious about every time. So yeah, I'll try to show them whenever possible. But yeah, underneath here we don't really have much. We have more drives. This is for the EEC, a couple of wireless connectors, which I don't really know where they are going because I didn't really label any. This is for the singularities mostly. And yeah, we have some manual crafting here. This is our planet's quantum rings. This side doesn't really have much. I guess I have this here, which is strangely placed. I don't think I showed this anytime actually, but this is for the purified tangum. Just doing this recipe. Didn't even remember this existed. But yeah, it seems like it's been going slow because this is not really upgraded, which is funny because this has been like this like for the I don't even know how many days, but it has been a really long time. But yeah, I'll come to this part later on since I'm going. As you guys might have noticed, I'm doing this kind of chronologically. So yeah, I'll come to that part later. But now let's go over here. And then this side is basically where we had our algae farms. We had two before, but now we have none. We just have a lot of compact fusions here. But yeah, I'll go through them later on. As I said, I'm doing this kind of chronologically. So I probably won't forget to come here later. But yeah, and finally to end off this room, I have the Tomcraft area, which I ended up actually doing more than I thought I would. I ended up also cheating some things because Tomcraft is not really for me. I don't really like the mod that much. Um, it has some cool stuff, but yeah, it's just not my style of mod. But yeah, I have most of the stuff that you guys probably care about, like this. It's kind of automated with this here, the essential terminal. Also have the node, which is kind of garbage because, yeah, I prefer not to talk about this, but yeah, I know that the B would be better. This is to upgrade the wands, crafting, so on. This stuff here as well. This is for the crafting. But yeah, it's just kind of basic stuff. Of course, we also have the neutron compressor, but this was a year later, and I'm not even using it anymore. Yeah, it took this all kind of down. Just before we end this section, I also forgot to mention this is where our oxygen stuff was. Immediately we have a manual LCR, which, as you guys can see, it has been shut down for a very long time. And also our CPUs. I guess this crafted never ended, but yeah, it's already done. So that's funny. I'm doing some star fuel crafting, but this will take a long time, and we don't really need this. But yeah, I guess from this area of the base, that's mostly it. I guess I can go now to this area, since this was mostly done relatively close by, so we can go to here next. Like I quickly mentioned before, this area was supposed to be our, let's say, new base. The main, well, the initial planning at least was to have many rooms going from here, kind of like I did my base last time, but just underground. Obviously, as you guys might have noticed, this didn't really pan out. I didn't really enjoy how this worked out. The rooms were getting a little bit too. They were not really feeling good, you know, not really feeling cozy to be in. So I ended up, well, moving everything from here to downstairs or to upstairs, I mean. And I feel like that ended up being a much better idea. Of course, initially this room was not like this, which was much smaller. But yeah, I ended up expanding this, and this ended up being my ore processing room, which has seen quite a few upgrades over the time. Uh, well, the major upgrade I did was really add the twist machines. Without the twist machines, I wouldn't really be able to process the kind of resources that I'm processing right now. So it was definitely required. I'm not going to go through exactly how this works, but I guess it's pretty easy to pretty easy to understand. I think if you worked with this in the past, but yeah, basically the resources enter this chest. This is connected to our miners. They go into this interface, and depending on which resources types they are, they well get separated here. Some of the filters, which basically, for example, all ores will come to the macerator. The macerators are of course these ones here, and also the twist one, which is this one, which is super fast, as you guys can see. This can process thousands of resources and basically instantly. But yeah, we have a couple machines, some of them with decommissioned, mostly still working intact. We also have a overall chest as well. But yeah, so going through the machines, we of course we have the macerators, we have sledgehammer, which is forge hammer, centrifuges. We also have this sneaky chemical reactor here. This was initially for the crops. We had the bauxite crops. This is kind of good because it quadruples yours, but getting enough leaves to make this process reliable, it's basically impossible. Because I had like, I can show you guys even to the personal dimension we go. I had like two full builds like these ones. Both of these were going and they were, oh, this is all with, okay, that's not good. Yeah, these were all going and it was still not enough to process the amount of bauxite we were getting and aluminium, which to be fair, it wasn't even that much, I'm pretty sure. So it's just kind of disappointing to see, well, this. At least the crops are getting reworked, but I'm not sure where that will happen or when that will happen. I guess it was supposed to happen for the next level, but at this point, the next level is pretty disappointing to me. There are basically no good new features, or at least the ones which really matter. Or I guess more like there's no new major features, new additions to the game. It's mostly just QOL stuff, which is fine, but yeah, after the 1.7 was 1.7 was pretty good version, but the next one is not really shaping out to be that important at least. And most of the features that at least I was expecting for to be in 2.8 are getting delayed to 2.9, which is even more depressing. But yeah, it is what it is. So let's go back here to our processing. So yeah, we have sifting, then we have electrolyzers and centrifuges. These ones here are for, well, to electrolyze and centrifuge the stuff that comes from the, well, the complete processing. Then on this side we have two separate chemical baths. This one here was mainly for, well, I don't remember, for fluorite, for the sand line. I actually had two. I had this one and there was another one here, but that got replaced with the mega array, which I'll show you guys later on, or in this case in a bit. Then this just a simple washer. Then we have this one, which is an ore washer, which initially was actually a chemical bath, so we could get more resources from platinum and so on. But yeah, this ended up being switched to a simple ore washer, mainly because I didn't really produce enough mercury. To get enough mercury has always been kind of a pain. So yeah, that ended up happening. Then we have 2 ore washing plants and 8 refineries, and finally the multi-smelter. Of course, we also have the twist machines, such as, of course, I mentioned the macerator. We have the big boy sifter. We have this centrifuge. And we have this mega array, which is actually doing 2000 parallel. Fortunately, this doesn't really allow us to have, how is it called, the batch mode. But yeah, it's pretty fast, has a lot of parallels. This can even go much faster, but these blocks here that they are used, that it's used for the upgrades, are very expensive. So yeah. Also, this can have more add-ons. This is considered here an add-on. I think we can have 3 more add-ons, but to be honest, I'm not really sure how they are built. It was a little bit tricky to even figure this out. So yeah. Also downstairs, we also have another electrolyzer here. But yeah, and these ones are very long. Not going to explain every twist machine in detail here. But yeah, just yeah, this is basically a very fast electrolyzer. Continuing on downstairs, this is just our, well, this is kind of crazy actually, but yeah, this is basically injection into the blue or light blue network, which is our, well, it's basically the network which separates the resources. And yeah, this is the connection between the networks. It's kind of confusing, so not going to go into much detail on it, but yeah, as you guys can see, it's pretty cool stuff. After that, I started on this room here, which was where initially our benzene production was. Might have still be able to, maybe not. I was thinking I might be able to check out the old room or the remains of the old room, but I guess that got vaporized. But yeah, some of basically this area is called dust processing, as you guys can see. This was mainly used at the time for the stuff that we got from the dusts, but that needed specialized processing, such as the ilmenite dust. This here. This we can, well, yeah, like this stuff to get the titanium. We got the titanium production here. We also got the crushed production here. Not this one, but yeah, this one. The select production as well. The bauxite production as well. Basically stuff that we moved from this area related to this processing to this area. Which, yeah, most of that is now completely gone. And most of that got replaced with the selenium production, which is it's one of those steps that the devs clearly were just being annoying to do this change. But yeah, basically the space elevator got changed. We needed a new plasma, which I think was the Techn something plasma. This one here. And this didn't need this selenium, which is not used anywhere else in the game. And this is basically carbon with this selenious acid. This has the coke oven with heated water, so we needed to get heated water. We need this, so for that we need, where was it? Oh yeah, we got it from the dehydrator. From here we also get the dust. The dust we can also put in the coke oven. So yeah, it's kind of many steps, kind of annoying. And yeah. At the end here, this was initially for cosmic neutronium, I'm pretty sure. But yeah, now we just use this for chlorine. We have more than enough chlorine at this point, but yeah, this just kept going. Uh, Not even sure where this sodium hydroxide is going. We should have a lot of that as well. Yeah, we do. I'll go through our resources at the end, guys. So if you guys want to see how many stuff I ended up with, stay tuned to the end, because I'll be showing you guys that at the end. Okay, moving on with this area. And yeah, this area is basically our processing area stuff. We don't really use this much anymore because the comps that we need basically don't require any processing. But yeah, this is basically the same setup as our ore processing. Chemical reactors for each of the stuff. And yeah, there's not really much to show here. And we also don't really use this room anymore. But if you guys want to see the comps, these are the ones for that. These ones are the ones for that. These ones are for that. These ones are for this set. Yeah, this is that one. This one is for the fluid ones, for the fluid extractor. And finally, this one is just for the nuggets, which go to this alloy smelter with the mold. This one's at the end here. I actually don't remember of it, so let's check. Oh, for the resin. Okay, yeah, because I ran out of rubber, resin or something rather related to that, so I needed, well, to process basically because I wasn't really processing that before. We still end up with quite a few loot, so we have a lot of infinity comms, a lot of indium, cosmic neutronium, palladium. I actually could process the palladium right now. Yeah, let's do it. Why not? Actually, it's actually going to be a little bit harder than I thought. But actually, I would like to try it. It would be funny. But yeah, it's probably not a good idea. So yeah, this area downstairs pretty clean overall. Not really much to say. So I guess while we are here, we can move on to the bees. The bees is actually something I started really early on, but ended up not really doing much until I actually require them. Which the point where you really need them is around UV for the Americium because they really help with the Americium production. It was very nerfed since the last time I did this. Same for the indium, also very nerfed. But bees overall are still very useful. And just a little bit extra of resource production is always good. So yeah, I started with the bees here. As you guys might know, I shit some of the bees, but most of it just the pure stuffs, pure species. And again, this categorizes as something that it just takes time, uh, and I don't really like stuff that takes time. Needs to go boom, boom, boom. So yeah, uh, I started doing them legit, I guess, but I got kind of bored with it because it takes a long time to get the right species, especially later on when the chances are getting lower each species you breed. So yeah, I also got an alveary this time. I didn't really do that last time, so that was cool. Uh, Using them after so many years, very nostalgic for me at least. And of course, we moved on to the Mega Apiary. Got this around Christmas Day, which was pretty cool. or New Year's. I don't really remember, but it was around that time. I'm pretty sure. I got the apiary. Right now, we basically just have the bees, which we need a lot of, which is mostly Infinity, Sonarium. We have some Indium, but and some Cryothium, but it's mainly it's just Sonarium and Infinity for the Infinity Molten Infinity. The Sonarium ended up not being enough. It wasn't really fast enough. We use a lot of Sonarium, especially for the Dyson stuff. Some other stuff as well. So for the Sonarium, we actually switched it. I don't think I mentioned this in the update series, but I ended up going back to the fusion recipe, and this ended up basically fixing our Sonarium issues, which was pretty funny. Also, in case you guys don't remember, we had our fusion reactors here before, here. So they are no longer here, of course, they are downstairs. Guess I can show you guys that next. But yeah, this is our Forge of the Gods. I guess I'll show you guys this later on because this came much later. So yeah, I guess we can. Oh, I've completely forgot this area. Yeah, basically this is our Genesis area mainly. We have here our Lutetium B as well, one of the most useful ones, at least before we get the Americium B. Since the Lutetium is actually used to if I can get it. The plasma? Not the plasma. Okay, I'm not able to find it, but I'm pretty sure this is used for the Americium. So yeah, just set up this little area here, pretty cozy. I also had here some bees. I had the silver bee, which I used for power at the time. I guess we can show that next. But yeah, we have, of course, Imperial bee. We have an Industrious and Etanic, which I needed for something. Probably Silky, yeah, probably for the stuff for the apiary. For the make apiary, I mean. Okay, so let's go to the compact area, which is straight on below. Of course, this came a little bit later, and there's a bunch of stuff that happened here that happened, well, later on. But yeah, I'll show you guys this entire area in one go, just because I don't really want to come back down here. And to be honest, I'll probably just forget. So yeah. For this area, this is mainly our compact fusion. I needed more thin plasma to have more power, so I added this one here. And this one, well, we ended up expanding this later on. But yeah, this one is for thin plasma, as you guys can see. Most of the thin plasma that we have right now actually came from the Eye of Harmony, so yeah, this hasn't really been doing much for the past, well, weeks. But yeah, the cool thing about this area is that each compact fusion is controlled as basically a control to keep it in between these levels. This is all done with, of course, redstone covers. And also another fun fact is that I think every single reactor for the control has one different kind of frame box. So this one is iridium, this one is steel, this is aluminium, and so on. I think they are all different. Maybe there's one or two that I repeated, but most of them are different. Just did it for fun. So yeah. Another thing is, I guess I can show you guys the tanks, or at least what we have in each. But yeah, most of them also have the extractors to get the fluid. So this one is for the silver, since this is in plasma, this requires silver. So it's here. And yeah, they are most of it just the same. This was the first one, so it's slightly different than the other ones. But yeah, also some of them are Mark V, some are Mark III like this one, some are Mark II or Mark IV. Yeah, Mark 5, Mark 3, Mark 4, and the first one here, our yeah, the first one that we built is Mark 2. So I guess we can go through all of them. So we have tin plasma, or zinc plasma, bismuth plasma, radon plasma, helium, iron, silver, boron, oxygen, titanium, niobium, calcium, nickel, sulfur, nitrogen. This one is americium. This one is neptunium. This one is fermium, duranium, tritanium, which we seems like we don't really have that much. Pretty sure we ran out of this. Californium, and well, this is one is for organism, but the tank is in our tank room. And finally, the plutonium 241, which is used for the miners, for the space miners. And at the end here, we have the compact cyclotron from Twist, which we don't really need anymore, I guess. We can turn this down. So yeah, this is mostly it for our compact fusion, at least the things that we have right now. We also have a couple um, mega furnaces, mega blast furnaces. So of course we have this one. I can show you guys as well. So the tantalum, we have iridium. This is raw silicon. And this one just turned on for an aqueduct. Of course, we need this one also for the mining drills for the space elevator. We have aluminium. We have cobalt, and well, nothing here, I guess. Something was here, but I don't really remember what. Maybe the silicon refined version. This one is for calcium. This one for the lutetium, and the final one for vanadium. So yeah, that's everything. On this side, we also have a couple passive stuff. In this case, for the Mega Alloy Blast Smelters. These ones are a little bit annoying to automate because they require extra stuff that we need to solidify and then macerate to get the dusts. And then we need to combine a couple dusts to get another dust, so that's why there's this mixer here with a bunch of barrels connected to get all of the random dusts. It's quite funny. But yeah, for the passive resources here we have the Xeron, this steel, we have of course the germanium and the quantum, which we ran out. We started having to autocraft this stuff on demand. We have this B-Sol alloy, which I guess this tank should be larger, but since we don't really need the abyssal anymore for the tesseracts, don't really use that much of this. Now, so Titan Steel and the Octeron. So yeah, that's mostly it for this room. So yeah, I guess we can go upstairs, back to main, and go and check the next parts of the base, which I guess we can go to our chemical area next. So the chemical area was basically our first new building after taking a break, and well, we needed a space for chemical reactors. So I built this. This is very different from what it was initially. It's still kinda undone since the upgrades that I've done. As you guys can see, this is not really well fully fixed. Yeah, the bridges, which is well initially it wasn't really a bridge, but yeah, this is not finished as well. Before this room was actually two rooms. It was well, there was a lower part and an upper part here, which was which came basically to here. As you guys can see, there's this clear line. But yeah, and it would split around here where the bridge ends. I think I expanded the bridge a little bit, but I didn't really finish it. And yeah, in this room we had all of our chemical processes. But yeah, we still have chemical processes here. But yeah, we have the mega chemical reactors and the intensify chemical distorters. I'm pretty sure this was intense chemical distorters, but they changed it. It still says the mode intense, but I don't know why they changed it to intensify. It doesn't really make any sense, but that's yeah, that's twist for you. Most of the stuff doesn't really make much sense. What matters is that it goes fast. So, what do we have in these chemical reactors, you might ask? Let's go through them. So, of course, iron trichloride, polyethylene, PVC in these two. Some of them I actually don't remember, but yeah, this one is for nitric acid. This one is for, well, it's not for nitric acid, I don't think. Why is there nitric acid here? Maybe it's for nitric acid. Are they both for nitric acid? Guess they are, right? Huh. I was pretty sure this one was different, but I guess not. And this one here is, of course, for our HCl. And this one here is for the this stuff, which we don't really need. Moving on, the bottom two are for phosphorus acid. This one here was for quicklime, which we needed for the Nakoda line. And this one for the ammonium chloride for the plot line. We are using it also elsewhere, I'm pretty sure. And the one which we were using for the plot line, I actually moved to the plot line itself, I'm pretty sure. We are no longer using this for the plot line, just because we needed a bigger buffer. But yeah, let's, before that part, let's go to the ICDs, ICRs. Okay, so this one for PTFE. This one is for the polybenzimidazole, silicone rubber. Okay, so yeah, epoxy. This one was actually for the rubber, for super glue. Yeah, super glue. We don't really need this anymore. This is actually very slow, so we don't use this. And these two are not used. This one is not used as well. On this side, I'm pretty sure that we have, yeah, polyphenylene sulfide, and this one is for the ammonia, which is a pain in the ass, to be honest. The ammonia has always been a pain. And finally, this one here is for autografting, and I guess this is just for, yeah, basically just for the mutated living soldier. It also does agar, but don't really use this one. But yeah, before we also had much more, well, we had a few more chemicals being done here, but they're not really used that much at this stage of the game, and some of them we can even get from the QFTs. So there was really no point in them. Some of them are mercury, sodium persulfate, styrene butadiene rubber, and the polystyrene. Some of them, as you guys can see, they haven't really been used ever since I moved them from the classic chemical reactors. So we are good now. On this side, I have a couple more machines. We had some chemical reactors here, but now we just have this one. And this one is for the phthalic acid, which we used for the bees. We didn't really use this anymore, since this is mostly just bee stuff. as you guys can see. Of course, also for the PBI as well, I guess. And finally, on this side, we just have sugar, and these two machines here are for the pyrotheum, for the blazing pyrotheum. So yeah, that's it underneath here. And I guess next we can move on to our power room, which is this one. So yeah, we go from there to here. Okay, so moving on to our power room. Yeah, this is our current power room. It's basically just the reactors. We don't really use much power from here anymore. But yeah, before we had the turbines, we had the combustion engines, all that stuff. The benzene production was here. Some of this stuff for the high octane gasoline is still here. The stuff from this distillation tower is still here. There was an oil cracker here as well, which is now gone. And yeah, the stuff here in the middle for the nitrobenzene is gone as well. But yeah, right now what we have is just well, we have 4, but we just use a single Nakoda reactor for Mark II. We are using the better recipe, I think. Yeah, which uses a chromatic glass. And we had 2, but we always ever just used one for Mark IV. And this one here is used for autocrafting. And then we have, how many? 12, 13? Yeah, 13 Nakoda reactors. All of them run Mark IV. Well, it's here Mark III, but they run Mark IV. Let me check. Show you guys. Yeah, Mark IV. Not sure why this is. I mean, I know why because I never changed it, but yeah. Then on the side of the room, we just have some EECs. I basically had more, needed more, mainly for the Twilight Forest materials. We, and this is basically the only way to get them, which I don't really agree with. I think there should be another way to get those. But it is what it is, basically. And yeah, this is, well, connects to a subnet, which is very full. Well, I don't know why this stuff is not being processed. Same for the ingots. This stuff should have been going into our main system, but I guess it doesn't really matter at this point. I guess this is turned off. That would explain it. But yeah, this is mainly for the night metal stuff. This stuff. And this one is our current arc furnace. Our recipes are here. And this is double EXV warehouse. And well, finally, important stuff to note down here. Just this mega distillation tower, which we used for distillation water before. Distilled water, I mean. Because before we had here our extreme heat exchangers. Of course, we don't have those anymore, thank God. But yeah, we also have the rocket fuel production here. I guess we can go to that now, which basically it was here where currently our nanoforge or our old nanoforge sits. They're still here a cell. I was using the tier 6 rocket fuel. I don't feel like this was very good. It was good, but it wasn't really excellent, mainly because it required a fuck ton of ammonia. Like everything in this spec does, most of the stuff requires ammonia, which is really annoying. But well, if it's like this in real life as well, yeah, I can't really complain, of course. But yeah, we had our rocket fuel production here. Now the commission at the forge. Moving on into the third and final main building. This is of course our autocrafting building. And yeah, most of the machines that were here were either replaced or decommissioned. Mainly because we started using the twist variants, and the twist variants are much better. Much faster as well. So yeah, what's here, it's probably not being used anymore. So yeah, this vending machine is not used, this is not used. This is not used, this wire mill is not used. This I think it's still used, but well, it's fast enough for the recipes that it has. So not really too, well, not really much problem with this. uh, this one just has a single recipe. And yeah, this one has some recipes, but I don't think they are, well, I think this one is used, but it's not really that used. And yeah, the other stuff is used. Well, not this one. Like I've said, we are no longer using this yarn furnace. We are using the other one downstairs. Also, for the drilling fluid, I don't think this is used anymore. And this sodium potassium, I'm actually surprised this managed to fill up the entire tank. We use this for some recipes, but not much because most of them don't really require sodium potassium anymore. They all just use helium. But yeah, I'm actually very surprised because these are, of course, EV machines that have been working basically for, well, I want to say like 10 months. I mean, maybe that's a little bit too much. But like for 8, 9 months, they have been here producing a sodium potassium non-stop. So it's really cool to see that these filled up. But yeah, I guess I'll go just through the machines that we have right now. Not really focus on the, well, on the what was here previously kind of stuff. But yeah, of course we have this vending machine which has no recipes because we are not no longer using this. The mobile plant we are still using for these recipes, but it's not like we craft them anymore. So it's basically like we are not using this. This Zygen we are using, I never built the twist machine for this. I just found that this was fast enough as is, so I never really bothered. Energy infuser, I had to build this to charge the batteries for the artificial cells. I actually have a copy of them. This is actually my loot chest for the stuff that I crafted for the end game that I didn't really use. So I have both artificial cells here and of course the mega capacitor. I already talked about this. This is just fluid canner, laser engraver, fluid extractor. We are still using this. We have the twist one somewhere there, but we are still using this for some of the more unusual recipes, the ones which don't require crazy amounts. The polarizer, we are still using this one as well. The lathe is probably one of our main bottlenecks to craft the Stargate, or at least the parts that I crafted. Mostly because of the redox lens, this one here, and also the chromatic lens was also really slow as well, but mainly the redox lens. Even with the 64 parallel and the 400% speed, it's still very slow compared with the twist machines. So yeah, it's overall a cool multi-block, but still disappointing compared with the rest of them. Of course, this is the twist version of the wire mill. Of course, I have here some, well, monitors, I guess. Our power to craft the last part of the Stargate. Well, the base. This used a lot of power. We were up to 1.1 times 10 to the power of 21, so this used actually quite a lot of power. Of course, we have our GigaChat token. and the certificate of not being a noob anymore. Two things that I ended up not crafting last time. I had already everything crafted for the GigaChat token, but I not crafted it last time. So now, of course, I made sure to grab it. We have the tier 3 PCB factory maxed out. This has a very big energy edge from what I remember. Okay, maybe not that big, but it's pretty instant. Also with a lot of nanites. Oh, I guess I had more, but I guess I ended up not filling this up. But I'm pretty sure I crafted enough to get 1000. So yeah, data bank, research station. I actually should have crafted another data bank because at the end I needed to really start removing the sticks that were not being used anymore. So that was a bit of a pain. The same for the assembly lines. I had like how many? Six slots, and this was not enough, or at least I don't think it was. We are no longer using this for some of the recipes, so I can't really judge. But I'm pretty sure we were full before that. Of course, we have fluid solidifier, chemical reactor, which I ended up upgrading with a very high energy edge. Transcendent plasma mixer for on-demand crafts. And well, I guess we are missing this side. So yeah, the auto assembler for overclocking assembler recipes. Implosion compressor with a block of Universium. Then we have a precise assembler and our main assembler for autocrafting with a very big energy edge. And finally, dissection apparatus. And again, I'm pretty sure this only has, yeah, a single recipe. So I guess we can move upstairs to this level. This level really just has miscellaneous stuff. I just called it tungsten and water because I didn't really know what to call this, since this is mostly just random stuff. In this block we have the tungstate line, because I don't think we are processing scheelite here anymore. Okay, maybe we are, but this is shut down because the scheelite was going to our QFT using this recipe here. We also have 4 matter fabrication CPUs. This was actually a bottleneck for a while. So yeah, I probably should have added more and the faster of them. Fluid solidifier for the chromatic glass. Yeah, for the chromatic glass. No, not for chromatic glass, for just regular glass. Not really sure where are the ports. Seems like they are not on the sides. Oh, they are. Yeah, for just molten glass, I guess. This is passive plasma mixer. I manually switch this between exotic and repellent whenever one is required more than the other. We have another process auto assembler here. This one mostly does stuff without fluids. But yeah, this side here, it's for tier 1 water. This is tier 2 water, and this for tier 3 water. Of course, not the water line itself, but just for the products that we need to get the water in the water line. Then this is to solidify and to dust the chromatic glass, because we need the dust form for the Nakuda line. Finally, our main Mega Wave Blast Smelter, which we ended up moving to the Twist version somewhere there. And the Solar Factory. I think the Solar Factory is new in this nightly version. I might be wrong. But yeah, this is used to assemble solar panels, basically. These ones, and of course these plates as well. It's actually a very weird machine because we cannot really patch mode for no reason. I'm not really sure why. And yeah, so I had to give this a very high energy edge. Okay, moving on. Yeah, after having some of our autographing set up at this stage of the game, we entered LUV. For LUV, you of course needed to start the water line. So I did this building. The water line was something new at the time. Uh, when I used the beta versions, yeah, it wasn't really that well documented at the time. But yeah, I went through with it. As this was my first time, this was not really well. The machines are not really well placed. If I do this again, I'll do a small room. Yeah, because I didn't really like how this room turned out. Very big for no good reason. Very boxy as well. The spacing for the machines are not really that well done. It's kind of random. So overall, I wished I could redo this room, but yeah, I couldn't really be bothered. I didn't even think about redoing this throughout the game, the playthrough. So yeah, but probably next time this will be very different. Of course, you guys probably, if you are still stuck around in this video, already know the steps. Step 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. For the steps 3, 5, 7, and 8, I wrote the program myself. So they are automated that way. And yeah, that's mostly it in the waterline room. At around this time, we finally also got access to the calves, the circuit assembly lines. So yeah, this is our room for it. Not really much going on downstairs here. So yeah, we did that. Also, just a quick side note here. This is our twist mixer, which came very later on, but I had a few accidents with this laser edge here. So this ended up exploding sometimes. And also this is right above one of our early cassiterite sand veins, which is quite funny. Also, the underneath for the water line, it's yeah, basically doesn't have anything. Around the time I built this, I also built our fluid storage area with the yachts. So yeah, some of them, like this one is tier 8, this one is tier 9. I'm yeah, pretty sure that's tier 9. Can I craft a tier 10 just for the sake of it? Let's see. Let's see if this takes how long this takes to get this tier 9. I would like to have at least one tank with a tier 9, tier 10 cell, I mean. But realistically, we are never going to get even close to those amounts because I'll show you guys because the fluid we have more is distilled water, and even then, it's not really close to those amounts. But yeah, I'll go through the fluids really quickly. So oxygen, not going to say them all, I guess. Chlorine, helium, sulfuric, not much sulfuric. We have some. Tin, nitrogen, fluorine, ethylene. This should be ammonia. Yeah. Krypton. I guess some of these we don't really have much because they weren't really needed that much. Yeah, salt water is probably one of those which we have the most. And that's a tier 8 cell, and you guys can see that we still have this amount here that we can, well, times this, right? We can have this times this. And that's a really big amount. And this is tier 8. we can go tier 9 like this one in tier 10, which is the one I'm crafting, which it's basically finishing. So yeah, I really kind of know the speed of the speed of which this crafts. As you guys can see in the tooltip, this is a very big number. So then here we have more. I ended up having to add a lot of tanks. To be honest, I probably should add even more. Um, Mostly because for some of the fluids, I ended up just being too lazy and having them into cells. And it's fine to have them in cells. I don't really mind the cells, but I just think that the tanks are way cooler. So yeah, I feel like I'd prefer it to have more tanks. But yeah, it's I guess it's more annoying to set up. Um, so yeah, I just do the cells because it's just easier to do the cells, honestly. Whereas this is a distilled water. Let's switch this up. I hope I don't have to switch the glass. I guess I have to switch the glass. So let's go for the transcendent. It shouldn't take very long. We can just wait for these to go. And we have enough. Wasn't really expecting to do this, but yeah, this is not really sure if I'll have the opportunity to do this again. So yeah, as you guys can see, this is it's so ridiculous how big this number is that yeah. And also it looks much slicker with the fully transparent design of this glass compared with the other glasses. But yeah, distilled water, iron 3 chloride, soldering alloy. Most of this stuff came from the QFTs. We have iron, matter, living soldier, which we don't have much, which is a bit surprising. But I guess we autocraft that stuff, so yeah. Space time we have a lot because of the environment. Argon I had to pump because we ran out. Of course, for the bio stuff and for the grow catalyst medium stuff, ground plasma. This is another one that I should have passive, but I just ended up being too lazy on this one. The craft was not really too bad, but yeah, Presidium as well, I guess we are out. This is one of those which I think, yeah, we have a lot, but I'm pretty sure this is stuck in some kind of tank. This is not really being redirected to the ME system, so we are not really seeing any of it here. Of Bedrockium as well. This is one which I should have passived, but I couldn't really be bothered. And finally, we have a couple more on this side. Kevlar, heavy redox, molten redox, hydrogen plasma, this phosphoric acid, and finally lubricant. These ones are not being used. Well, they would have been very easy to set up, but I ended up not using them. So yeah, moving on. This room here. This room was intended basically for the crystals, for the engraved crystal chips. Very annoying to get the, well, not this, but the raws. It's very annoying to get because it's a chance. And it's a cyclic recipe. So if we want to get the 100% chance, we need to use the parts. The parts is a raw forge with the full part. So yeah, it's slightly annoying to autocraft. That's why I set this up this way. This was also, curiously, our first Mega by Blast Smelter, which is quite funny. But yeah, this is all passive. Also, we used this autoclave before, but right now we can actually I actually upgraded this to use the twist autoclave, but I'll show you guys later on, since that was actually one of the last few additions to the base. So yeah, I'll show you guys that at the end probably. But yeah, at around this time was when I got really too much into the bees, so I needed a little bit more talic acid to process. So I decided to go for the mega wood farm. Um, Mega wood, which I call this area, it's basically just well, to use wood to get stuff for the well, this stuff here, which is used for the talic acid. So yeah, this was actually also the first twist machine that I built, the large industrial caulking factory. That's obviously a typo, and also they changed the tooltip, which is a bit sad. Yeah, it was the tooltip. Well, the part with blue color, it was different before. This using like a ravenous beast, wishing like a breezing east. That was different before. I think it was cooler before, but I don't really remember exactly what it said. But yeah, this area is basically just tanks and distillation towers to distill everything that comes from wood and charcoal and wood tar and so on. So yeah, we have a bunch of distillation towers and tanks for all of the fluids. They all live here. We have pretty good amount of everything, and I guess this ran out of tools a long time ago. Initially, I was actually going to use the large sequoias, which I cheated. The large... No, they are not even here. Where they are? They were here before. They were in the Yami system, but I'm not... Yeah, there we go. Oh, it's not large, it's giant. Yeah, they are very large trees, and they produce like a very high amount of wood. But I ended up switching them back to spruce because it was really too much. We were not really able to process it with our distillers here. I could use the, well, right now I could use the Mega Distillation Tower or the one from Twist and get this fixed in a bit. But yeah, at the time I didn't really have that, so yeah. Now, of course, we were at around UV at this stage of the game. So I'm completely forgetting about the other side of the base, so let's go to that now. Which is this side, because of course to get to this area of the base there's some stuff that we need, such as of course Nakoda. But before Nakoda, let's start here. This is our lanthanids area, and of course when I mention lanthanids I'm mentioning stuff like cerium, cerium. Oh, this is what this is. Okay, this is, yeah, olmium as well, aphnia, samarium, galodinium, yeah, cerium, lanthanum, neodymium, and so on. A bunch of other side products as well. This is one of the lines which I'm pretty sure it's kind of optional. You need you need it for some things, but it's still kind of optional because I'm pretty sure there are other ways to get everything here. But yeah, I kind of have fun building this last time, so I decided to do it again. And I feel like I actually built this at decent speed. So yeah, it was actually pretty fun. We have, well, samarium line on this side. We have basnaside line. Well, not samarium. The monazite line on this side. Basnaside line on this side. And at the end here, we also have the samarium upgrade, I want to call it, which is just a way to get a little bit more samarium from the line. But yeah, I'm not going to go through every single one of these machines. These lines are a bit too big to explain. And to be honest, I'm not really going to explain any line here in this video because this video will be long enough already. So yeah. On this side, this is our platinum line, our mega platinum line. It wasn't always here before. We moved it here. It was actually in this area here. It was, well, it started here. Then we had some machines here and there as well. It was basically almost like 70%, 80% of this top floor was for the platinum line. But of course, it's no longer here, and it's now here. This received like one or two major upgrades since I first built it, and it's pretty fast, pretty reliable. It can't really keep up with the amount we get from the Eye of Harmonies, so I ended up turning on or dedicating a full QFT to process everything that comes from the plotline. So yeah, I don't think this is used much anymore because most of the recipes or most of the resources will try to get consumed to the QFT first, and it will probably just do everything at once, basically. But yeah, in this area we also have a few new machines, especially downstairs. I feel like the downstairs of this area is probably one of the better ones I've done. So we have, of course, the power at the bottom to power all of the LCRs. We have ME on the sides of the machines like this. And yeah, of course, on this one we also have an inverted distillation tower and an inverted. Um, this is a fluid heater from Twist. Works pretty well, pretty happy with everything, and of course another sifter from Twist. But yeah, these are the parts that are Twist machines because they were very slow. So I just decided to do that. Also, while trying to build this, I did a fuck up with the matter manipulator, which at the time was a new item, which is not here apparently. Should be here. Yeah, this is basically the new copy paste tool. Kinda, it also has other modes, but yeah, I was trying to move this, but it doesn't really work well when trying to move. I just wanted to move like one block to the left or to the right, but it doesn't really work well when we want to move like overlapping distances with something that's already in place. So for some reason I ended up moving it here, and that's why this is all with dirt, because this got moved like to the ground. So if I try to excavate here, bits of the machine would pop out, which was very random. So I ended up filling this with dirt, but I'm pretty sure that if I go far enough back, I should probably see some of the machine parts. Yeah, as you guys can see, it's still kinda here, which is pretty funny. But yeah, we're not really here to see the memes. We are here to see the base. So yeah, we got our platinum line, which of course initially was here, and we also have our Nakoda line. Nakoda line had a few more upgrades, but overall it was a little bit trickier than the platinum line. There's some steps here that we are no longer using. And this seems stopped at the moment. And the reason for that is that we processed all of our Nakoda, and the Nakoda that we still had, was processed in our dedicated QFTs. So we got also them for Nakoda, since this was not really fast enough. And yeah, this is a mega line. Most of the machines are running very high power, and it was still not enough. So yeah, QFT did the job. Important stuff here that might be a little bit different is the ICD for this stuff, which is one of the slowest recipes in the game, or at least it's very slow. So yeah, we are doing it this way, I think. We also have the twist the constructor for the quadria. We have another one here, which was for to recycle the sodium hydroxide. Yeah, this was also a big issue because we needed to recycle this. And of course, we have well, that just not. We have two megas for the knuckle stuff, I guess. Basically, the neutron activators were not really able to keep up since they are very slow machines. They basically work based on the height. They are already very high. And I'm pretty sure this is colliding almost. Well, that's definitely colliding. And I didn't really want to build this higher because they're already very tall. Don't really like the fact that they're, well, kind of in the way, I guess. So I decided to go for the twist version, which is this one. I actually, now that I'm saying this, never really used this to these recipes. I mainly just used this for the inerts that we get from the QFT, which I guess is kind of a bad use. These ones are very long recipe times, as you guys can see. But we don't really get many, or at least at the same time, we don't really get many. So I just should have done all of the recipes from here to here. I think it would be much smarter. But yeah, for next time, that's one of the things to take into account. But yeah, for the plotline, that's it. We also had, of course, the mega vacuum freezer for the crushed ice before, but yeah, that's no longer here. And also, now that I'm here, completely forgot about the underneath of our autocrafting room, which is actually where some of the stuff that we actually use for autocrafting is right now. So yeah, let's take a look at that next. Okay, so I guess we can start with some basic stuff like the mega blast furnace, vacuum freezer. We also have the twist laser engraver, which is max upgraded with photonic intensifiers UXV. And on this side we have well, an extruder, a bending machine, and a forming press. Bending machine was, well, at that point was kind of necessary. The extruder was very necessary, so yeah, we have them here. Extruder is actually not fully upgraded. It uses infinity coils. The other ones are fully upgraded with eternal coils. I should probably upgrade this one, but well, I guess it's too late now. It doesn't really make any difference. We won't be crafting stuff anymore. So yeah. Finally, on this side, we have another laser engraver from Twist. This one is dedicated to to its own mode, because this can do two modes. It has the regular laser engraver, but it also has the photon manipulator mode, and that's this one. Just for Twist recipes. But yeah, also not much stuff here. I also have this computer here. This is just for reporting. I saw a cool post on the GTNH Discord. Uh, there's a guy that made the dashboards with the stuff from DME system and the power network. It was pretty cool, so I wanted to give it a try. It worked. It's kind of useful. At this point in the game, it's not really very useful to me. But yeah, for the fluids at least, it's very useful. The power didn't really work for me just because we are using mainly wireless, and the wireless has very large numbers, and most systems don't really know how to represent such big numbers. So it doesn't really work out very well. So yeah, but earlier in the game it would probably be more useful. The items as well. The items doesn't really also work out very well because there's a huge amount of items, and yeah, doesn't really like it very much. But yeah, moving on with this, I guess the next thing I can show you guys is our chemical bath area. Let's see, yeah, biolab. This is probably one of the parts which I hate the most about the pack. It's the bacterial vats. It's a pain to automate all of the stuff that we need to craft with them. It's also a pain. So yeah, I ended up replacing all of our biovats with the biovats from Twist. They are much cooler, much better, easier to automate. I mean, in the mode that we have, which is the automation mode, we don't really need to automate them with the flow control. There's another mode which well requires the automation and gives a little bit more yield as a result. But to be honest, I don't really care much for that. So yeah, and of course all of the machines here, the remaining machines are just for those annoying in between crafts. So yeah, I can show you guys also what we have here set up. Of course, mutagen. This one is for I don't even know which one is this for. I don't remember. Oh, this one is for what was it called? The growth medium. This one is for seaweed broth. Yeah, bio catalyst, and finally this one is for the xenozine, which is annoying as fuck. That's there. Underneath this area we have a few cool stuff. So we have of course our fishing port, which I never really moved. This is not really in a very good place, but yeah, I never really moved this. We had another one here, but I removed it. I just stayed with this one, which all in all, it's probably not a very good idea, but that's what I ended up doing. And even cooler is underneath. We actually have one of the twist machines, the space scaler. And yeah, for this area, it's pretty obvious that I just went here with the world edit and gave out this hole. This was just too big. I didn't really know where to place this. So I just decided on this spot. So yeah. And the main goal of this is to get us some extract, which is yeah, this one, of course. As you guys can see, very high amount of power, very a long recipe. So yeah, upgrade this. Actually, I had to upgrade this with the tier 9 stabilization fields a few days ago because this was too slow and we didn't really have enough seaweed TCT extract. So I upgraded that, and this was much faster also with more power since this was using UBXV power before. So yeah, it was a big upgrade. Okay, yeah, just in front of our bio lab, we have our dedicated AL room, which is this room. We have many, well, not that many, but some advanced assembly lines here. They can all be doubled like these ones here. These were the only ones which I decided to do that. Since these were mainly used for the boards, for the neuro boards and for the bio boards, these ones here. For the circuits, they take a long time. and they are very slow. So yeah, I basically did them here. I don't really remember every recipe that was being done here, but yeah, I have harmony stuff, circuit stuff, some of the blocks that we need for some of the recipes. These ones here were for Stargate stuff. Yep, chevrons and the plates. We are no longer using this, obviously, as you guys can see. We are using our mega assembly line down there or up there. So yeah, we are no longer using that or this. Moving on, we have our component assembly line room. You guys will probably start noticing that at this point I started to feel very lazy with building. So yeah, most of the stuff, most of our builds don't really have any rooms. They're just on the block of concrete most of the time. So yeah, very lazy with that. To be honest, I don't really mind it because some of these bigger multi blocks I think look cool just over a platform without any walls or ceiling. So I don't really mind that. But yeah, we have 4 assembly lines or component assembly lines here. All UXV with UXV 4 million amps. Yeah, this was actually I wasn't really going to do UXV 4 million. I was going to stay with UXV 252,000 or 262,000. Yeah, but I ended up upgrading them, and it was a huge upgrade. Uh, yeah, for this side of the base, I'll come to that later. Since we are doing this kind of chronologically, so let's take a moment from this and let's come back here to this area. Yeah, this area is just random stuff, I guess. In here we have our nano resins line. We don't really have all of them, but we have some. I guess we have europium, we have samarium, we have I want to say erbium. Yeah, erbium. We have ohmium, I think. I think this is ohmium. This one is not 100% set up. Yep, ohmium. This one, I'm saying this is not 100% set up because we should be using the ohmium ore instead of the rare earths. But I never ended up switching this. Most of it because we have a good amount of ohmium, as you guys can see. We don't really need to do the nanoresins. Well, we don't really need them for anything really. I just decided that this would be a fun line to build, and that's what I've done. And yeah, finally, this one here is for the Presiodium, if I can find it. Yeah. And all of the other machines are basically just support machines. And on this side, we have our cavalry line, which I'm still kind of annoyed with, to be honest. Cavalry line is, first of all, it's a very annoying line to build because it requires a lot of machines, as you guys can see. But yeah, one of the nightly upgrades changed some of the recipes or broke them. I don't really know what happened exactly. But basically, one of these recipes got removed, so we can no longer do that recipe. And the alternative is to get like 5 or 6 new machines at least to compensate. And I didn't really want to do that, of course. So I ended up not really doing Kevlar anymore. And that's fine because I'm pretty sure that at this point we already have QFT tier 4, so we could just QFT Kevlar if we need to. And that's basically what I did. So yeah. Moving on to this side, this is our redox line, which is disabled. Again, this requires a lot of Xenozine to get the redox. And we were kind of struggling with Xenozine because it's used a lot for circuits. So for that, I ended up just getting the QFT and getting redox and Xenozine and Kevlar all in one with the QFT, which was much better. Here we also have the cocking factory from Twist, two distillation towers from Twist, the advanced mega oil cracker from Twist as well, and the final step is an ICD. Also, one thing I want to mention is that this advanced chemical or advanced mega oil cracker, it's basically the same as a regular oil cracker. The main difference is that I changed the config so that this does perfect overclocking. Otherwise, I'm pretty sure it would be the same machine. Moving on, as we went through the tiers, we are now at UHV, UEV, so we need more infrastructure, we need more power. So I built this from here. This was done to produce us the required resources for the Naquada fuel tier 3. So yeah, of course we have a mixer, EBF, vacuum freezer. This one is a bending machine, some process assemblers, implosion compressors, fluid extractors, and so on to get us the juicy stuff for the NAC fuel. At least the tier 3, which we used. But yeah, and also, I guess since we are in this side of the base, we can go through the miscellaneous machines that we have here. We have our computation array. This is all maxed out and are going, of course, to the wireless networking, all of them. There should be 10 in total. Is this one not working? Oh, this one is shut down. Okay, fair enough. We're not really capping out on computation. We are not really using all of this, but yeah. In addition to that, we also have macerator. We have the last tier of the compressor, which is the black hole. The black hole is a very dumb mechanic, in my opinion. So I ended up cheating the black hole with creative. So it's always turned on. One thing to notice is that I'm pretty sure, I might be wrong on this, but I'm pretty sure they removed this creative option from the latest nightly versions. So yeah, that would be a huge hell for future players. But I guess no one is really going to skip this. It's a pen automation, but at least there's already a computer craft automation for it. If only the explanation was a little bit better. But yeah. On this side of the base, I have another one of this. This one is a forge hammer, and it's used for autocrafting. And finally, we have the tentacle, the indistinct tentacle. This is probably one of the later twist machines to get to the indistinct tentacle. There's actually a Mark II of this, but I don't think it has really any use or any major difference besides compared to the Mark I. And it's much more expensive, so I skipped that one. But yeah, this one has 4 modes. It says assembler, precise assembler, component assembly line, and also the regular assembly line as well. And of course, this one is in assembly line. This one is an assembly line recipe or mode. And we have a bunch of our recipes here. Mainly the ones that we really needed to speed up because the regular assembly lines are very slow, and the AALs are slow as well. So yeah, with that, I'm pretty sure this is the end or this back side of the base. There's still a few things there to show you guys, but let's move on to this side of the base again. I guess I can go to some of the twist machines here. I already showed you guys the mixer. Of course, I also have here the cutting machine. I have the fluid solidifier, which is kind of bugged, but I guess it works, at least for now. And the fluid extractor. On this side, we have, of course, our DTPFs, which I didn't really manage to complete the box. So it's, well, it doesn't really look very nice right now. And some of them are shut down. But yeah, we have, I don't even know how many we have. We have 5 for auto crafting, which are the bottom ones, plus that one. And the other ones are for auto crafting. I'm pretty sure I have that Infinity, Chromatic Glass, Hypogen, Cosmic Neutronium, and Neutronium. I think that's it. Maybe these two are switched, but I think that's it. But yeah, that's it for the DTPFs. Here I have the chemical bath, and on the opposite side I have the autoclave. Of course, these are twist machines. On this side, oh, right, before moving on with this side, let's go back here because I completely forgot something. Completely forgot about the Miracle Top. Miracle Top is basically a very good circuit assembler. It also has a few other recipes, but it's mainly just a circuit assembler. It also has another mode, which is the Graviton Breaker, which was the one you guys saw there. And of course, we also have the Draconic Evolution Fusion Crafting. Yeah, I talked about this in one of my rant videos. But of course, you guys might know why I cheated this one. Because this is one of the dumbest recipes in the pack, in my opinion. For the Dragon Blood, of course, that's what I'm referring to. This is basically the only real way to get Dragon Blood. So yeah, I had to cheat this basically. But yeah, with that done, I'm pretty sure I did everything here. So let's go back to this side of the base. And I guess at this point I'll just, instead of trying to go chronologically, I'll show you guys everything. Which will be going through this to there. And I'll do the same on the remaining parts of the base, since we are getting close to done basically. But yeah, on this side it's basically just passive for the catalysts for the DTPFs. We have the Transcend here, we have the Exotic here, and of course the mixers for them here. Also have the Twist Large disassembler, which is very useful to disassemble stuff from mainly the Eye of Harmonies when we are first upgrading them to the tier 9s, trying to get a tier 9. This one is very useful because it gives us back a bunch of resources, so we can really save on the resources to craft the next tiers. So this is pretty nice. And I think this can do more than just assembly line recipes, but I'm not really sure because I didn't really test. Let's continuing on this side. We have this Crystalline Infinitor. This is actually in the Crystalline Forge mode. This doesn't really have many recipes, but yeah, mainly just stuff for twist items and twist stuff. Twist Tyson as well, but Twist Tyson is, I didn't really understand how it works basically, but yeah. And finally this one here, this is for the rock crystal chips, which I showed you guys in the beginning, or at least a few, like an hour ago probably, in our crystallizer room. Opposite to that we have the big ball, the mega ball, the ball lightning. This is probably one of the most expensive multi-blocks in the game, especially if you want to upgrade this to the um, maximum tier. This is running tier 3. There's a tier 4. And we can upgrade this to the other coils as well. The other coils, of course, I mean these ones from Twist, but we need a ridiculous amount of this. We don't really have enough resources, which might be crazy to say since we already have one of the blocks for the Stargate, but this is even more expensive than that. So yeah, it will take a long time to calculate. But as you guys can see, we are missing a lot of stuff. Some of it is buffer issues, but some is not, like the Graviton, the Tangam. I mean, this is kind of, we have this, but we need to speed it up, basically. But yeah, a bunch of stuff here is being used, which we don't have, not even close to enough. But yeah, this has 3 modes, actually 4 modes. There's the arc furnace mode, the fusion reactor mode, which is what we are using it for. And it also has a star kernel mode, which is basically just the Gorge fusion plasma fabricator, but the twist version. Moving on to here, this is another miracle top in the gravitation inversion mode. This doesn't really do much, just has a 1 or 2 recipes here, just one for the antimatter, which is used for more twist stuff. We have the micro spacetime fabricator. This one is kind of important for the tesseracts and for the quantum anomalies. The tesseracts were one of the slowest recipes that we had in our DTPFs, and they were taking a very long time to do. So yeah, I crafted this slick multi from Twist just to speed up that process. Finally, on this side we have 2 more Twist machines. This one is the Miracle Door, not to be confused of course with the Miracle Top. Miracle Door is, like I've said, just a very fast void blast smelter. This does everything in one go, but of course we need to have the power. Takes all of the energy from the wireless network, and we can even overclock this because it has a static recipe time of 25 seconds with no overclocks. If we try to overclock this using a circuit, it will basically quadruple the power for just double the speed, so it's not really very efficient. And finally, on this side of the base at least, we have the mass fabricator. Yeah, it produces a lot of EU matter. That's why we have this much. That's this is actually quite a lot, and this is not even a very big energy edge, as you guys can see. We could upgrade this even more to have even more EU matter, but that would be crazy. Now, on this side, we have basically our power gen for the whole base, the Eye of Harmonies. We have 12 of them, which is not much, but well, it's honest work, I guess. Moving on to up here to the mountains. We have 4 more Eye of Harmonies. This one here is kind of an hybrid one. Sometimes this does the white matter, sometimes it does a random resource that we need. So yeah, right now it's doing the ham belt. And we needed this because we were not of Olivine. But luckily, we already have a lot of Olivine, so I could switch this up to another planet right now. Yeah, this one here, like I've said, just we got what we need basically. Yep, this one is used for the dark matter, I'm pretty sure. This one was our initial power one. Well, I was kind of expecting to need more than one, but yeah, I thought that one would be enough. But it wasn't, clearly. And finally, this one here. It's for the Universium. And this has 9 astral arrays, basically. So it's basically the bread and butter of our base. Moving on from that, I guess just these buildings remain in the God Forge. I guess I'll go to the God Forge first. Not really much to see here. It's decked out. I cheat some of the upgrades to be able to finish it. But yeah, it's maxed out as well. We had a furnace, a blast furnace, dust melting, plasma fabricator, and then the quark and the mag matter production here. Didn't really do any additional thingies. Didn't really feel like it was required. um, then we have our mega um, DTPF. Oh, and of course, space elevator. Show you guys the space elevator in a second. But yeah, this one is just much faster. I'm pretty sure this does every single item in a single go, but I might be wrong. Might be wrong on that. At least it's what it seems like. On this side, we have space elevator. We have 4 tier 3 miners, or 5, I guess. Forgot about this one. We have 6 tier 3 assemblers, and we have 6 tier 3 pumping. So yeah, pretty cool. And I guess finally, to end off this amazing tour, we have the Twist Nano Forge with high power. So yeah, pretty fast to craft the nanites. Also a few things that I guess I can show you guys. They are not really that important. So let's go to our Dyson area, which I'm pretty sure we had 16 Dysons. I don't think they are working again. Maybe some of them are, but we need more modules, I'm pretty sure. We have some here, but I haven't really been keeping up with the Dysons, to be honest. Since right now we get most of our power from the DTPFs, no, not the DTPFs, but the Harmonies anyway. But yeah, we have 16 here, which is pretty nice. And if I go to Vega, we should have the Twist Dyson. And to be completely honest, I don't really like the Twist Dyson that much. Guess it's too expensive to set up correctly at least. First we have this module here, which is where we launch the items to get energy. Then we have this, which is basically, well, just a regular dice. We don't really need to do anything here. We just input the stuff here. We have some empty stuff. Yeah, we input the stuff here. It basically makes this generate more power. And yeah, this one here is the artificial star. This one I didn't really figure out how it goes. We can input some of the materials here, like antimatter, I think we can input. Let's see, artificial star. Yeah, we can input antimatter, we can input the fuel rods, but the fuel rods are very expensive to get because this requires this strange matter aggregator. I didn't really do any of this. I don't really know how this is supposed to work even. It just seems kind of crazy to me. So I ended up not doing any of this, but yeah, I just decided to build it for the sake of it, basically. But yeah, that's mostly it for the base. Just one more thing that I forgot to mention. I was going to. This was an idea that I had in the beginning of the pack, since I was feeling that this was probably going to be my last real playthrough of Minecraft in general, not just GTNH. I'll probably play GTNH again at some point, but I'm not for sure if it will be like this run or if it won't last as long. So one of the ideas that I had was to build like miniature replicas of bases that I had in the past. So this is what I started doing here. I built like the first base I did in the in our server, which is this one, the caravan. It was something like this. It was slightly bigger, but yeah, it was basically like this. It had an underground area as well. I also built the second base that I've done, which is the towers, which I just did here a mini tower. It's very big, very small, I mean, a very small tower. There used to be 3 of them. So it was probably one of the most iconic bases that I've done. And the original idea wasn't even mine. So yeah. And I also built this one here when I played with Red Space. With a base like this. Of course, this is just a miniature version of it. It was much bigger than this. And I could also add a few more of the bases, but as the time went on, I just decided. It's not like I decided, but it was more like I ended up not really doing them anymore. Or they also have this one here, which also comes from the first map, where I had the machines to get the bee stuff. It was not gender free at the time, it was extra bees. But yeah, they also had a cool mechanic for that. But yeah, I'm pretty sure I showed you guys everything that was to see. Don't think I really missed everything. So yeah, this will be probably the last video for this series. I mean, not probably, but it will be the last video for this series. Oh, I completely forgot about the QFTs. Completely skipped them. Okay, so for the QFTs, this one here, just random. Whenever I need something, I just come here, place the catalyst. This one is for Nequadria. This one here is for let's see, for Nequada. This one I was using for the Eternity, which we should probably, I mean, we most likely ran out. We still have some, I guess. This one is for the Platinum, which has a lot of catalysts, as you guys can see. This goes crazy fast, almost 1 million per run. And this one here this was for the glue. We don't really need this anymore, mainly for the Indaloy, because we were running out of Indaloy. So yeah, just decided to set this up like last minute to get enough. But yeah, with that done, I guess this is really the time to end it. It has been an amazing run. Overall, really happy with this playthrough. Much happier than the one I did before. Also, Twist really helped, because if it wasn't for Twist, I probably wouldn't really have gotten this far. Because as you guys might know, I really hate the machine spam in this mod pack, especially at this stage in the game. Really despise the machine spam. And whenever I see the guys in the GTNH Discord uh, proudly getting the Stargate and showing the screenshots of them of their 1000 machines spammed, like I die a little bit inside, let's say. But yeah, I guess it's part of the pack. But I really hope they change that or upgrade them. When they added the new multi-blocks, I don't really understand why they didn't give them any kind of upgrades to allow them to get laser etches or some kind of better overclock mechanics. I guess they really missed the ball on that part. But yeah, that's really everything for me. I I just really have to show you guys the resource collection. how we ended up with. So for the items, I guess this Stardust would be expected as the top one. Also iron dust, aluminium, copper, silicon dioxide, monazite, sodium, raw silicon, and calcium on the top row. Notable mentions, I guess, the platinum, um, the osmium as well as the iridium, and yeah, that's mostly it, I guess. We also have a lot of naquada. I'm pretty sure, yeah, a lot of naquada, samarium as well, rutile, which we never ended up processing. I was going to QFT this, but I guess we never got that far. For the fluids, yeah, distilled water winning, of course. Oxygen, hydrogen, helium, nitrogen, carbon monoxide, salt water, fluorine, and molten iron. Notable mentions, of course, for the EU matter. We also have a lot of super glue and advanced glue. Also a lot of bio catalyst medium, the raw one. And of course the plasmas, which we have a lot because of the harmonies, which is also pretty cool to see. Yeah, as well as space time, also another mention for the space time, which we get from the failed harmony recipes. But yeah, I guess that's everything in this huge video. If I had to say, this is probably like a 2.5 hour video. It's more than 2 hours for sure. But yeah, I really hope that you guys enjoyed coming with me revisiting of the stuff that we did for the last year and a few months in this series. And yeah, for now that's pretty much it. Next videos will probably all be Valorant related if I can get enough clips, which probably not, let's be honest. So yeah, the videos might dry a little bit for the next few weeks or months. But yeah, that's it from me. Hope you guys have enjoyed this video and hope to see you guys next time on our or in a new series. Yeah, bye bye. Take care.